This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How we feeling?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Every show, Tori, panics. There's stuff dropping. She has her water bottle. She's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
And then she hides it like there's vodka in there, and her dad just walked in the room. Why don't you, maybe 10 seconds before the show, so you're not panicking?
Yeah. That's kind of how I work.
Okay.
So I don't think you should really talk badly about how I
What
work.
fell as I was saying that?
My sag paneer,
Okay.
my Indian frozen food.
Okay.
So.
Start the show.
I don't even know what to say. We don't have a prompter, and I'm stuck with what Tori just said. But Al, at least we look good, buddy.
That's
we all
right.
look
You
good.
do
We all
look good.
All right, guys. Jennifer Lopez made a stop over in Paris for Fashion Week after her vacay in Italy without Ben. Oh, J.Lo attended the Dior
Looking good.
Haute Couture fashion show on Monday, looking chic.
Look
I
how
would
good
use.
she looks.
Looks awesome.
She looks really pretty.
In this beige dress. It's hard enough trying to read these cards, Tori.
Sorry.
She had long black gloves and a matching purse. But get this, she was spotted on a commercial flight and appears to be flying economy. Now, there was a spare seat in the middle there, okay, reserved for her bag, and her bodyguard was on the aisle seat. J.Lo was also seen going through the airport just like a regular person, but she didn't look like that when she was going through the airport.
No, but just have context. She was only going from Naples to Paris. And if you fly
Naples to Paris a lot?
Yeah, intercontinental. When you fly within Europe, usually it's easier to get a flight that just hops over there. Like I went to Amsterdam for like a euro on Ryanair. I was nervous.
Yes,
I was
Ryanair is interesting.
You know it.
Yeah, but I will say this. You know, I did like it. Maybe it's a step in the right direction. I remember the rapper Common said, "Sometimes I take the bus home just to touch home," and it's like sometimes when you're famous, it's better to just be around the people for a second and reclaim your art. I don't think that's what she was doing here
No.
at all, and especially Naples to Paris. I don't know how many of the people are on that flight, but
And she booked the whole row.
Yeah,
so you know.
well, and that I thought maybe she just got lucky because back when there used to be more airlines, like 10 years ago, you would get flights where there would be no one in your row, and I called that first class for the people. You know, when you would have the whole row to yourself, you're like, oh my goodness, yes.
And it's always the last person on the plane.
Who
You're like,
sits.
and you pretend you're not looking, but really you're like, don't sit here, don't sit here, don't sit here. And they sit down, you're like, everyone's sitting here, like, no! And you're like, I hate you. It's always the last person, right?
I had a flight where I was lucky to get the seat. I had to go get to New York, and it was like less than 24 hours. And when I booked this particular seat, there wasn't anyone sitting in the middle. Oh. And so, or no, I was sitting in the middle. There wasn't any. Anyway, long story short.
You booked it on purpose.
I booked the seat,
Yeah.
yes. And I am sitting there, and there's no one sitting in the aisle, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And they're doing all the, like, everything's closing, all
Final
the
calls.
stuff.
Oh, no. Someone runs in.
This dude comes in, and he was a big dude, like a big dude, just a big dude. He sits down next to me, but before he sits down, he lifts up the armrest, and he's like, I just need a little bit more space.
Oh, no.
And I put the armrest down.
You told me about this.
He proceeds to tell me how he's a prophet.
You told me about this.
He offers
This is
me
a true story. Yeah.
7 different foods that he brought on to this plane. It was the worst flight I have ever been on in my entire life. I will never forget this man's name ever in my life. Ever.
The prophet.
Erica, what did you ended it though? You were like, I'm done here. You said something.
Yeah, because he started bringing up how he goes to third world countries and he's a prophet there. So you're a scam artist,
Yeah, you're
sir.
conning people.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask to speak. Oh, because he kept telling me how he loves women that look like me. Yes.
Okay.
It was a terrible
He
flight.
scammed you out of that 2 inches, too.
Yeah.
More than
That
that.
armrest going right.
More than that.
And your soul.
And my dignity. All right, speaking of Paris Fashion Week, some other stars are making a splash around town. Rihanna was in Paris, sitting front row to support her partner, A$AP Rocky.
That's awesome.
I love this. He put on a surprise show for his menswear collection on Friday. Serena Williams wore this outfit that's getting mixed reviews for the Tom Brown showcase on Monday.
I'm manifesting her actively.
Yes, she's
to be on my show.
Oh, I know it. So Pharrell Williams was looking sharp. He's showing off his latest menswear collection for Louis Vuitton.
I like him. I like it.
And Selma Blair wore this oversized beige suit with her hair braided into a necktie.
Yeah, she turns around. Turn around.
I like the
Look
back
at
of
that.
That's amazing.
I think that's cool.
That is kind of cool.
It's very 90s.
Yeah, and I like the bagginess, so she's filled out a little bit more because she's been going through some stuff. So good for her.
Oh, yeah, good call, Tor.
How about Kylie Jenner? She turned heads in this baby pink corset lined with crystals and this bridal style face net.
I don't know.
I don't.
French people don't show that much.
I don't dislike that at all. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike
It's
it.
a little much.
The front's a little
The front's a little much.
All right, and Katy Perry wore this cutout corset top and skirt to a movie premiere in Paris, looking good.
Okay.
I want to go back to Serena though, because I want you to manifest that. I was just kind of moving on the timing. We have no prompter, and I was just trying to keep up with the show.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
But yeah, let's go back to Serena. I was at your podcast event.
Yes, my live podcast event for Comeback with
Yes,
Erica
it was
Cobb.
so great.
And Karamo, who was my guest, was like, who would you guys like to bring next?
We all
And
shouted out
everyone
answers.
was shouting out answers. And we landed on Serena. So we are working to get Serena.
All right.
And it will happen.
It will happen.
Even if you have to sit next to a prophet on a plane.
See?
I like it, yeah.
It'd be funny if,
I
like, you did
actually
get
would if
Serena, and he called you like, see, I told you.
I did.
Yeah.
The prophet. That's funny. I like that she was wearing little dachshunds, Serena. And if you notice, she had a little red dachshund purse, which is a little French, very cute. Look how cute that is. I think that's a cute little outfit.
I wanted to ask you guys, the only thing with Pharrell's outfit for me is the bell bottom. I'm
liked
surprised.
it.
I just
I
can't.
think it's coming. I think the baggy look is coming
is.
back.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with the baggy, but the flared boot, it just throws me.
Does it feel
I
too
don't-
90s to you? What do you think,
the
Al?
bell bottom? No, it's just too much. I don't like bell bottoms. They're off-putting.
And I remember those days.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I love the bell bottom.
Me too. That boot cut was
Yeah.
everything.
I've never seen you in bell bottoms.
Well, because you
didn't
very
know
seldom see me in pants. But if I'm wearing bell bottoms, I like the ones that go all the way. So I wear a large heel, so I'm like 6 feet tall, and then it goes all the way to the ground.
It's good for your silhouette.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really is.
I just learned something about bell bottoms.
All right, coming up on DBL, Sean Penn is revealing why he is thrilled to be single. And Twisted Sister icon Dee Snider is giving us a backstage pass to his new biography special. Stick around. Welcome back to DBL. Sean Penn says he is done with love. In an interview with the New York Times, Sean dished on life as a single guy. He said if he ever gets into another relationship, he will still be free because he doesn't plan on having his heart broken again. Reflecting on his past relationships, he said he often felt the pressure to make the other person happy, but wasn't able to. So if you remember, Sean was married to actress Robin Wright for 14 years. They have 2 kids together. He also dated Charlize Theron. They got engaged in 2014 before calling it off. And he was briefly married to Australian actress, I don't have her name on my card.
Layla Gray.
I don't have it on here.
Layla Gray, who is
Layla George.
Yes, who's Vincent D'Onofrio's daughter.
All right, all right.
Well, you know, it'd be...
Wait, there's more, Al. And in the 80s, he famously married Madonna at the height of her fame. They divorced 4 years later. He said they've been able to stay friends and have supported each other's charities in the past. That's not really a friend.
I think that is a friend.
No, that's like, will you come and meet me for coffee? No, here's $1,000 to your charity, your choice.
Well, dang, I'm going to invite you for coffee.
If I was Sean Penn, I'd give you the cash.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with this sentiment. And I think that if more people were comfortable with the idea of people being single, it would probably be a benefit to a lot of people. Sometimes if you're looking for love and that's your goal, that's great. But not everybody needs to be coupled up, and that's okay too. This man obviously has had a few tries at being married. They weren't necessarily successful, or maybe they were successful while they lasted, but they didn't last. And now he's made a decision that he doesn't want that type of companionship. I mean, people do it all the time.
Erica, I don't even know if they're mutually exclusive. I think that you can be deeply in love with somebody and not be living in the same house. I think that's more common than you think, especially with older folks that are like, my husband snores, or like, look, I kind of like my space, and you're more comfortable expressing your truth in your 60s than when you're 18 and you want to have this fairy tale life. So I think that I think Sean Penn, he's saying I'm done with love, but I think he's probably saying I'm done with the traditional idea of a relationship.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean you can't be in love with somebody and see them every other week. And a lot of people live bi-coastally, and I see my partner, you know, for a week every month. Everybody's love looks different.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't understand this. Like, I have such codependency that I love being with my husband. But I also have learned from you guys that it all looks different. It's not always the same. I also think he recently said one of his wives watched the Real Housewives until his brain cells disintegrated. And so maybe he was just picked the wrong person or has the wrong picker. You can have a bad picker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at some point, I need to learn that this is more complicated than just always wanting to be with someone. But let Sean Penn be Sean Penn. Find someone.
Finally, I'll just say it looked like a night. If you showed a lineup of his last 7 partners, looks like you're doing all right.
I was just gonna say
like,
that.
This is your sob story?
That's your bar. So
Yes.
you're like, I'm never getting back up there.
Sure.
I'd just rather be alone. I think I'm at the age right now, like
You could
we're
see
running
it.
out of time. But like some of my friends, they're just so stuck in their ways that they'll
Yes.
never find a girlfriend because they're like, did you move that plate
Yep.
over? I'm like, wow,
Yep.
dude.
I like my
Oh,
plates
Lord.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah.
The routine of it all.
Exactly. Guess what? Prompter's back. Coming up on DBL, we're talking with the one and only Dee Snider. He's looking back at the height of his rock and roll days in Twisted Sister.
to find 80s rock like Twisted Sister. And with the new A&E biography on frontman Dee Snider out now, we got the chance to speak with the guy himself about his 40 years of sticking it to the man. Check it out. Big rock and roll welcome to DBL. This is Dee Snider.
Yes.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sticking around after that intro, Dee, but let's jump right
Jeff.
in. You've been the face of rock since you stepped onto the scene, but you started as a choir boy. So how does one go from a choir boy to Twisted Sister?
You know what? I knew at the age of 9 years old that I was going to be a rock star. Unfortunately, nobody else knew it, but I knew. And at the same time, I started singing in the school choir and church choirs. I liked singing, and it was my only thing I had going for me was I had a voice, and I was going to maximize that. So by day, I'm singing in the choirs, and by night, I'm singing in rock and roll bands. And guess which one out?
How did you come up with that distinct look for the band? Like, what was that inspired by?
So, well, we had been around, literally, the band had existed for 10 years before you became aware of us. And when we started, it was women's clothing. Women's clothing and just like the most rudimentary, ridiculous makeup we put on our faces. And then I met my wife, Suzette, who I've been with for 48 years. And she sat me down one day and she said, "You're not pretty." I said, "What? I'm not pretty?" She goes, "You're not pretty, and you're not wearing makeup. You're wearing war paint." And she worked with me. She made all the Twisted costumes, did the hair, did the makeup. 48 years and counting. And so she's the one who sort of had that come to Jesus moment.
There you
She
go.
said, "Listen, this dressing like a woman thing. It's not going to fly."
We're Not Gonna Take It was an anthem for the youths at the time.
That's still the anthem.
I know. I sound 100 years old. But you actually wrote it from the band's perspective about your record label. And I just want to know, what were you guys going through at that time?
I had a lot to complain about. The band couldn't get signed. We were hugely popular regionally, playing to like 1,000, 3,000 kids a night with no record out. We were just this phenomenon. And then, of course, had all the other gripes in the world, parents and all that stuff. And We're Not Gonna Take It. I was, mad at the world at that point in my life. But I wanted this song to be one that was left open to people putting their frustration into it. So all over the world now, this song has transcended the 80s, and it's the go-to song everywhere in the world. When you're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore, we're not going to take it.
Yeah, that's what I say about Jeff all the time. Yep.
All right, let's try to take one more question here. We only got about 30 seconds. But you wrote a Christmas song for Celine Dion, but she didn't know it was you for years. So have you been in touch with her since the diagnosis?
First of all, I did not write it for her. My wife, Suzette, asked me to write her a Christmas song. I told her she was insane. I'm a headbanger. I'm a rocker. She said, "You can do it. You're a classically trained countertenor." And I wrote a real Christmas song for her, and I had it recorded and gave it to her Merry Christmas. That was it. Cut 2 years later, an engineer who was on the session was working with Celine. She was doing These Are Special Times. He said, "Listen to this song," and he played it for her. She said, "I want to record that."
No way.
And when he told me, I said, "Did you tell her that I wrote it?" He says, "No, I didn't." I said, "Well, don't tell her. Don't tell her Dee Snider wrote a Christmas song." That weird guy. But no, I've never actually met her. And that record is the biggest selling holiday album in history. Thank you, Saint Celine. You built this dungeon that I'm sitting in. But yeah, I never got to meet Celine, and I would love to, actually.
I love it. Thank you so much, Dee. DBL Nation, do not miss the A&E biography of Dee Snider, Sunday, June 23rd. Thank you again. You are so awesome to work with.
Man.
Rock out.
Appreciate you, bro.
And thank you again. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome back. We got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
It's kind of true. Steph, what do you have for us today?
First up, we've got the Cathy Island 6-piece cooling sheet set.
Ooh.
These sheets are perfect for hot sleepers because they pull the moisture away from your skin and spread it across the fabric to keep you drier and cooler. Who knew you could get such a wonderful thing?
And we need that.
I know. So normally this is between $79 to $99.
Okay.
We've got it for $29.99 to $39.99. So that's saving you up to 62%. Up next, this is so cool, Tori. It's the Dartwood Mini Portable Bluetooth Label Maker.
Oh.
It's a mini printer, and it's the perfect way to stay organised and keep track of your most important things. All you have to do is download the easy-to-use app to customise font size, icons and images for labels.
Whoa.
Normally this is $36. We've got it for $14.99, and that's saving 58%.
Where are my type A's at? We got your number right here.
Check out this toy. We've got the Cortex Beauty 2-in-1 Cool Air Flat Iron and Curler Air Glider.
Oh, nice.
With this product, you will be able to save space in your vanity because it is a 2-in-1 hair tool.
Nice.
So it can provide both curly and straight hairstyles.
Yes,
so normally this is $250. We've got it for $34.99. That's saving 86%.
If you travel and you want your hair to look good and you want options, this is your go-to.
And then our last product today, Tori, is the 2-pack VYSN Flux 7TWS earbuds.
Whoa.
So you can easily connect these with your Bluetooth. And the best bit is that the charging case also doubles up as a power bank for your phone.
What?
So normally this is $100.
Okay, I hate that.
We've got a 2-pack for $29.99. That's saving 70%.
And it's a power bank. I like how you are thinking, Morning Save. Y'all head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan that QR code on screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. So easy. Thank you so much, Steph.
All right, before we go, Snoop Dogg can now add track star to his resume. He showed off his inner Olympian during a 200-meter exhibition race. We didn't think it was for the Olympics. So during the Olympic trials in Oregon, Snoop bolted out of the track and gave it his all, huffing and puffing his way to the finish line.
This is me if I ran anywhere.
He was still smoked by the competition.
Yeah.
Got it there.
Oh, I caught on. It caught on.
Yeah.
And finished a distant third, but he posted a respectable time of 34.44 seconds, which he said wasn't too bad for a 52-year-old man.
Dang.
200 meters, that's twice around the track, right?
No.
No.
That's
200
400
is
meters.
half.
That's what I said.
You said
halfway
half,
around the
yeah.
track.
Yeah, halfway around.
You
halfway
said
around.
it. You said it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him to be there for the Olympics, though, and Leslie Jones.
Yeah, he's going to be great. All right, have a good,
Oh, yeah, 800.
be good.